This lesson we are going to complete the square. What I'm going to do right away is identify my A value, B value, and C value. So you know what numbers we are working with throughout the lesson. I'm going to now move over my C value. And I will have an answer. X squared plus 10x. And what I would like you to do is write plus blank equals the 11 we brought over plus blank. We are now going to take half of the B value, which in this case is 10, divided by 2, we're going to get 5. And we're going to square that 5, and that 5, which ends up being 25, is going to go in both of the blanks that we had already discussed. Well, x squared plus 10x plus 25, if you factored it, and I'm going to show you a little shortcut, will now become x plus 5 squared. Where does this 5 come from? It actually comes from the 5 right here. It will equal 11 plus 25, which is 36. So now we just have a standard equation that we talked about in class. We have to get the x by itself, so we are going to square both sides. And we are going to have x plus 5 equals positive or negative square root of 36. Do not forget your positive or negative. We are now going to subtract 5. And we will have x equals negative 5 plus or minus, and we should all know the square root of 36 is 6. From here, we need to actually get two different answers. We're going to have x equals negative 5 plus 6, where we get x equals 1. And then over here, we're going to have x equals negative 5 minus 6, where we'll get x equals negative 11. After we check our answer into the original, you will see our final answer will be negative 11 and 1. But the answer is in your braces, kids. The next problem we're going to work on is going to be very similar. What I would recommend right now is pause it and try it on your own based on the previous problem. Once again, we're going to bring over our C value. When we read it, we're going to have x squared minus 2x plus blank equals 4 plus blank. Once again, we're going to take half of my B value, which in this case is negative 1. And then I'm going to square that negative 1. Make sure you put that negative 1 in parentheses, because often people forget to do negative 1 times negative 1, and they just get a negative 1 as a response. So the 1 we received here, actually, you know what, I'm going to redo that. I'm going to make it red. Negative 1 squared equals 1. That 1 is going to go into both of our blanks. And once again, the greens are going to become their own parentheses. X minus 1 squared equals 4 plus 1, which is 5. Just like we did in the previous problem, we're going to square root both sides. We will have x minus 1 equals positive or negative radical 5. We are not done. We've got to bring over the 1 to the other side. And we get x equals 1 plus or minus square root of 5. Write our answer. 1 plus square root of 5, 1 minus radical 5. One more question, and this one will be a difficult one. So the difference in this problem is our A value is 3. We don't have an A value of 1 like we've had in the past. But we're going to do a lot of the same steps. We're going to add 3 like we've been. So we'll have 3x squared minus 12x equals 3. The biggest difference is right here. We're going to take a GCF out from the 3. So it's x squared minus 12x. Once again, it is, oops, I'm sorry. Shouldn't be minus 12x, it should be minus 4x when I took that out. Plus blank equals 3 plus blank. But what the difference is, just like we had the 3 over here, we're going to multiply this by 3. So we have our b value is negative 4. So it's going to be negative 4 divided by 2 equals negative 2. And our negative 2 squared, I keep forgetting to make that red. Negative 2 squared will give us 4. So I'll go in both of our blanks. Well, just like we did before, it's going to be x minus 2 right here. But now this 3 will pop down and go in front. So it's 3x minus 2 squared equals 3 plus 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12, so it's 3 plus 12, which gives us
Mr. Seifert, please
15.
call the main office. Mr. Seifert, please call the main office.
And from here, we are going to just solve the equation like we know how. Divide by 3. You're going to get x minus 2 squared equals 5. We are going to square root each side. You're going to get x minus 2 equals plus or minus square root of 5. And then lastly, we're going to add 2. And our answer will become x equals 2 plus or minus square root of 5. Two plus rad 5, 2 minus rad 5. To test if you watch this video or not, I'm going to give you a question right now. Or I'm going to tell you something. My son's birthday is August 16th. You need to know that when you come to class tomorrow.